Remember those Nigerian prince emails? The ones promising you a fortune if you just handed over your bank account info? Yeah, those seem almost quaint now, right? Scammers have upped their game big time. We're diving into digital arrest today, and let me tell you, this scam is straight out of a Black Mirror episode. So we've all heard about deepfakes by now, right? Well, this scam takes them to a whole new, terrifying level. Imagine this. You're at home, just going about your day, when suddenly the phone rings. You pick up, and it seems to be from, like, a government agency, maybe even the police themselves. And they hit you with these serious accusations, money laundering, fraud, you name it, and then they tell you you're now under digital surveillance. But we're not talking about, just casually peeking at your browser history here. We're talking 24/7 Skype calls where they force you to stay online while they investigate. I mean, how creepy is that? And the scary part is, it's not just some hypothetical scenario. This is actually happening, and it's costing people, like, a lot of money. Take the case of S.P. Oswald, for example. This guy was an Indian textile manufacturer. And we're not talking about some, tech-illiterate grandpa here. This was a successful, respected businessman who still managed to fall prey to this digital nightmare. And it all started with a phone call, just like I described. The scammers pretended to be from India's Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI. And to make matters worse, they didn't just accuse him of some random crime. They specifically linked him to a high-profile money laundering case.
And that's what's so fascinating and disturbing, frankly, about this scam, how they exploit our inherent trust in authority figures. This wasn't just some phishing email with a shady link. This was a coordinated performance, almost like a theatrical production designed to completely break down someone's defenses. They essentially weaponized the fear of legal repercussions and the weight of an official investigation.
Wow. So they really did their homework to make it seem believable. But it gets even wilder. So they put Oswald under this so-called digital surveillance, forcing him to keep Skype open constantly, like 24/7. But here's the real kicker. You ready for this? They staged a fake court hearing. And get this, complete with a deep fake of India's Chief Justice. That's like the highest judge in the country. Can you imagine seeing that on your screen? Someone you believe to be this high-ranking official, basically confirming all these accusations against you? Oswald, understandably, was terrified. I mean, he was totally convinced that he was in serious legal hot water. And tragically, he ended up paying over $833,000 before he realized it was all a scam. It's just heartbreaking. Thankfully, he was able to get some of the money back with the help of cybercrime officials. But his story, it's like a chilling reminder of just how convincing these scams can be,
Yeah, it really is. It's like they're preying on our deepest fears, those anxieties about getting in trouble with the law.
Absolutely. Oswald's story is a huge wake-up call for all of us. But let's kind of break down how this digital arrest playbook actually works. What are the steps these scammers take to make it so incredibly believable?
Well, it usually starts with that official-looking phone call, right?
Yeah.
And they often use a spoofed number, to make it seem like it's actually coming from a government agency.
So they're covering their tracks from the get-go.
Exactly. And to make matters worse, they might even have some of your personal information.
Oh, no. Like what?
Things like your address, maybe your social security number, stuff they could have easily grabbed from those big data breaches you hear about all the time.
So it's like they've done their homework on you, which makes it even more terrifying.
Right. And then come the accusations, which, they don't just pull out of thin air. They often reference real events or even mention actual people to make it seem even more legit.
It's like they're creating this whole web of deceit around you.
Exactly. They might even say something like, you're a suspect in an ongoing investigation, to really ramp up that sense of urgency and panic.
Oh, wow. So you're already freaking out. And then they hit you with the digital surveillance, right? Demanding that you stay on a video call, supposedly so they can watch your every move.
You got it. And this serves like two really messed up purposes, right? First, it isolates you.
Makes sense.
Keeps you from calling someone, asking for help, or getting a second opinion. And second, it reinforces this feeling of being watched, like someone's constantly looking over your shoulder, judging your every move.
And that's where those deepfakes really come in, right?
Yeah.
To basically seal the deal.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, picture this, right? You're on this video call, and you see what you think is a real judge, a police officer, or even like a high-ranking government official staring back at you.
And it looks totally real, right?
Totally real. It lends this air of undeniable authenticity to their claims, you know? It's not just a voice on the other end of the line anymore. You're basically face to face with authority, and that can be super intimidating, especially when you're already scared and vulnerable.
It's like they're hacking into your reality, making you question what's real and what's not.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen examples of this deepfake technology being used with like scary success. Like, remember that case with the UK energy firm?
Refresh my memory.
So, some scammer used a deepfake voice to impersonate the CEO's boss
Yeah.
and actually tricked him into transferring like $220,000.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy. And honestly, what's even more concerning is that this technology is becoming like way more accessible now. What used to be something you'd only see in Hollywood movies, you know, some special effects thing, is now available to pretty much anyone with a computer and internet access.
You're kidding.
Nope. There are apps and software out there that can create these crazy, convincing deepfakes with like just a few clicks. It's kind of wild, actually.
So you're telling me anyone with a grudge and some Wi-Fi could whip up a deepfake and wreak havoc?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's what makes this threat so scary, not just in India, but everywhere.
Right, because even though these digital arrests seem to be happening a lot in India, this is a global problem.
Yep.
It is a global problem. So with this technology spreading so rapidly, how do we even begin to fight back? What can we do to protect ourselves and others from falling victim to these incredibly sophisticated scams?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? There's no simple answer, no magic solution that will make this problem disappear overnight. It's going to require a multifaceted approach. We're talking technological advancements, definitely public awareness campaigns, and honestly, some serious global cooperation.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit. Let's start with the tech side. What kind of progress is being made to actually combat deepfakes from a technological standpoint?
There's some promising research and development happening with deepfake detection software.
Deepfake detection.
Yeah, think of it like a digital detective, right? These are algorithms designed to spot those little inconsistencies, those subtle signs that even the most advanced deepfakes can leave behind.
Oh, interesting. So these programs can analyze like a video or an audio clip
Yeah.
and basically flag anything that seems off, like a digital fingerprint that exposes the
Yeah,
fakes.
exactly. They're getting better at recognizing those almost imperceptible visual or auditory cues that we as humans might miss. But of course, as deepfake technology gets more advanced, so does the detection technology, right? It's like a constant arms race, but one that we absolutely have to win.
Wow. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie using technology to fight technology.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned public awareness. What role does that play in all of this?
A huge role. Education is absolutely key. People need to know that these scams exist, understand how they work, and learn how to spot those red flags.
So like, what are some things people should be looking out for?
Well, for starters, be wary of any unsolicited contact, especially if they're asking for personal information or money. And if something feels off, trust your gut. Don't be afraid to hang up the phone and the call, whatever you need to do. Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely. Now, you also mentioned global cooperation. How does that factor into addressing this issue?
These scammers are often operating across borders, making it a global problem that requires international cooperation. We need countries to work together, share information, intelligence, best practices, basically, a united front against cybercrime.
A united front. I like it.
And it's not just about enforcement either. It's crucial to develop ethical guidelines and implement regulations around deepfake technology as a whole. It's a powerful tool that can be used for good or for bad, so we have to find that balance. You know, encourage innovation, but also protect people from harm.
That's a really good point. This entire digital arrest thing is a stark reminder that we're living in a world where seeing is no longer believing.
Right.
It's not just about money being stolen anymore. It's about trust, security, and honestly, I think it makes you question what it means to be human in a world where reality itself can be manipulated.
You've hit the nail on the head. As AI gets more and more sophisticated, and those lines between the real and the fake continue to blur, we need to be having these conversations, raising awareness and demanding action. The future is being shaped by these technologies, and it's up to us to ensure that it's a future where technology empowers us, not exploits us.
Well said. And on that note, listeners, as you navigate this increasingly digital world, remember to be vigilant, stay informed, and always, always be skeptical. The next scam could be just a click, a call, or a deepfake away. Stay safe out there, everyone.